the ultimate Aussie road trip starring none other than 8-time Grand Prix winner Daniel Ricciardo. Hello, young sir. Welcome home.
Hello.
That looked pretty epic.
Yeah, it's amazing what a few green screens can do.
I mean, it looks so real too. You were really riding that tractor so well.
No, they put it together well. So, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. How is it to be home? Tell us, it must feel a little bit weird to be at the Australian Grand Prix and not be out there on track. How is it?
It's all right. Like, honestly, I'm feeling... I'm in a good place, you know. I'm happy to be here, but I'm also happy not competing this weekend, you know, as much as I love it. I'm very, very, you know, like, stand by my decision and very happy to take some time off. So in a good place. But yeah, I'm still obviously heavily invested as a looker-oner. I'm still listening in and making sure I'm staying up to speed with everything.
Daniel, it's great to have you here and spend a couple of moments with us to chat about this. One of the things that I'm interested in is that when you're inside the bubble as a driver, you're so busy and focused, you don't get to see what's on the periphery. So now that you can see it a little bit more around the outside, what's your interpretation? What do you think?
A lot more stuff makes sense now. In terms of, you just, as you touched on, you know, once you're in the season, it's relentless, and all you really have a chance to do is dissect the last race and, okay, the setup was this, we'll do that next time, or, you know, but you don't actually get a look at big picture and with a wide lens or whatever the phrase is. So even like now I look back, and even like the last 2 years of McLaren, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand why that didn't work. I would have done that better or done that differently, or kind of cut these things out or added that. So it's like, I'm even in a position now, only a few months removed from last season, where I'm, okay, if I get back on the grid next year, I already have things that I want to do different. And it's quite cool. You know, I wouldn't have had that if I was still in the race car.
So you just said then, if I'm back on the grid next year, which sort of gives away that it's already on your mind. You're already thinking that far ahead. So how real is that for you? Do you feel like you've had a little taste of that time out you clearly were searching for at the end of last year? What are the realities around having you back here?
Yeah, it's, you know, like so coming into this year, I just wanted to kind of just take it as it comes and not really set too much of a plan or a schedule. And, you know, it's just like I want everything to come naturally, and the hunger, the desire, the motivation, all of that stuff. Like, I want it just to be organic, so to speak. And yeah, there's like already some things, even the first couple races, you know, I was watching on the sofa, and a couple months ago I was like, oh, I don't even know if I'll watch, you know. I'm like, whatever. But Friday practice was on and I was live timing, and so I still am very invested in it, and I love it. And I'm sure the more months that pass in this season, the more I'll probably get a clearer answer. But I don't feel done with it. I already feel a little bit revitalized, or whatever the term is, and just enjoying, I think, being back at Red Bull as well, and just being in that family with a lot of familiar faces.
When you are a racing driver, invariably throughout your career, you experience the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. The win at Monza was outstanding, but you go soul-searching when the tide goes out. So what was it, as a racer question here, that was so frustrating about that last year with McLaren? What were you searching for that you couldn't find? Was it braking confidence? Is it turning? Is it general stability? What was giving you the grief?
I think, you know, honestly, it became everything. Like, it was always, I think that's what made it so frustrating at times, is it was like always moving. Like, okay, one weekend it's, say, braking, all right, so then maybe by the end of the weekend we're like, all right, we got onto it, we'll be sweet next weekend, and then it's something else, and then it was just, nothing was ever really adding up. And it was not just, there was no step 1, step 2, step 3. It was just a bit of a mess. And I think also we started probably over analyzing things, then that takes a hit on my confidence, then I'm questioning a few things in myself, and then I see everyone kind of scratching their heads, so I'm kind of forced to scratch my head. And it's at the end of the day, like, kind of big picture, it's no one's fault. We just got into a place which didn't end up being very productive, and ultimately I didn't feel I could deliver in a way that was natural to me, you know, in terms of using my natural ability and just going out there with a free mind. And yeah, it was just questioning too many things, I guess.
Yeah, it seems to be very much a rabbit hole. It's really easy to fall down one in Formula One and be chasing something that isn't necessarily at the core of what you're after. I'm interested to know then, after the turmoil of last year, what you've learnt about yourself and how different you are today after that experience, and I guess how that changes your mindset heading into whatever the next thing is.
Yeah, you know, I think if anything, it builds resilience, you know, but I also look back on, you know, I think now as well, going back to Red Bull, I look back on the years that, you know, since I was last there, and I don't look back on it with regret or any like sadness. You know, I think everything is like a learning experience, and like you live and you grow, and I feel much more mature. I feel much more well-rounded, and I welcome the, let's say, the bad days, because they're the days, as you say, you learn the most about yourself and you find out what's real and what's important to you. So yeah, there's that excitement about if I do get back on the grid, I feel like I'll be such a more complete version of myself, and just kind of also prioritize things a little differently.
He's plastered all around town here in Melbourne at the moment.
Yep.
You're the Optus, Chief of Optimism. I've never seen that title before, and you are literally everywhere. So the pressure on you behind the scenes at the moment, day and night throughout this event, must be crazy.
I mean, it's full on, but I think the beauty this year is that I don't then have to worry about jumping in a car, and I think that's where, I think as well, like say last year, for example, the sport's growing, it's doing this, and the commitments were getting more and more. So naturally, I'm a bit more fatigue or whatever it is by the time I get in the car, and then the on-track stuff isn't going well. So you end up just, in a way, resenting a lot of it. And you again, for my level of excitement and passion, I didn't feel like I was doing myself kind of justice. And really, yeah, I mean, it's my dream job. And the day that I kind of stopped losing that real smile, that's kind of a day that is, I got to start asking some questions of myself. So yeah, this year, so jumping to now, it's good, because yes, I'm busy, whatever, but I don't then have to worry about being at 100% and get behind the wheel. So I can afford to spread out my energy elsewhere a little more.
Yeah, busy having fun, that's what it looks like from where we're sitting. So a return to the grid next year potentially is what you're focused on. What does that look like? Can you pick and choose where you might want to land? Is it just about getting back on the grid wherever there might be a seat? And if it's not what you want, what else do you do?
Yeah, it's, you know, that's, I think as well, one thing I want to get out of this year is, yes, I want to know what I want, but I also want to know what I don't want. And I think I can already answer that. You know, I don't want to go back to ground zero. I don't want to just be on the grid to be on the grid and struggle in, you know, 18th place. So I don't want to be on the grid at all costs or at any cost. I also know myself that yes, it's harder to then just jump straight into a top team in terms of availability, but I know that that's where I want to be. I know that I'm like, I thrive in those situations when there is more on the line, and I think at this point in my career to kind of be that real hunger and motivation to race at the front, that's all I really want. So yeah, that's where I'm, I know it probably makes it even a little harder to get to, but that's where I'm looking.
So if that opportunity's not there in F1, will we see you in something else? Will you still go racing next year?
I think like if I'm like to sit here now and be like, I'm completely done with F1, then yeah, I'd probably entertain something else, but probably more on I wouldn't say a full-time level schedule. But yeah, I don't know. I think right now I'm still like F1 heavy. So we'll go there and see what happens.
We've got our fingers crossed for you.
Oh, you got me some Aussie treats.
And we've actually got you some Aussie treats. And
He's
this
so
is the most
graceful
important
doing
part
that,
of the
Neil.
weekend.
Yeah.
So look at me wrestle
We
this.
weren't going to let you go empty-handed.
Some Tim Tams, man.
That's living.
Yeah, look at this. Hang on.
Hang on.
Milo. Oh, hey, how are we going?
I can have the other one.
Yeah.
Straight with the
More
spoon.
Tim Tams. And
caramel.
ta-da. No Formula One driver can travel without it.
Yeah.
Max tried this recently.
Yeah.
he wasn't a fan. But he also said, I think they made him eat it like from a spoon.
Oh, no.
So I was like, no, you need a bit of butter,
A
soften
little
it
bit
down.
of butter. You actually just need like a lick of Vegemite with your butter. That's the best way to eat it, right?
I can eat it like from a spoon. Maybe I'm really weird. You know the squeezy tubes as well? Yeah, like straight in.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a sicko, but
Yeah,
I love all of
you
these.
are.
There's a
Thank
quote
you
of
very much.
So there you go. Happy Easter.
Yeah.
We couldn't let you come home without getting a few of your favourite things. Thank you so much for joining us on Fox Sports. We'd love to see you. We hope to catch up with you throughout the rest of the weekend.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.